My scripture reading is taken from St. Luke, 6th chapter, 46 through the 47th verse. I apologize, the 49th verse. And why call ye me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say? Whosoever cometh to me and heareth my saying and doeth them, I will show you to whom he is like. He is like a man which built an house and dug deep and laid the foundation on a rock. And when the flood rose, the stream beat vehemently upon that house and could not shake it, for it was founded upon a rock. But he that heareth and doeth not is like a man that without a foundation built an house upon the earth, against which the stream did beat vehemently, and immediately it fell. And the ruin of that house was great. Such is the reading of St. Luke, 46th verse. St. Luke, the 6th chapter, the 46th through the 49th verse. Again, I say unto you, good morning. We want to talk a little bit of this morning about the house that was built upon the rock. Solid foundation. That house was built upon a rock. Scripture says he dug deep to lay that foundation. And when he built the house upon the rock, it said the floods could not move it, could not destroy it, could not shake it up. Now, what does this foundation represents in terms of us? Your faith. And we have heard much about faith. You know, there are folks that believe in God, and to a certain degree that they believe that God can do all things. But the flip side of that coin is they don't have faith that God can do within them that which they're seeking from the outer world. Your faith, built upon a solid rock, solid conviction. See, that's the rock, conviction in you that God can do all things in you and through you. Now, I want to say something here this morning. I'm probably going to step on some toes. Well, probably not going to step on toes. I'm going to step on the whole foot this morning. See, because when you're walking, you need more than toes. You need the whole foot to stand on. See, that foot is your foundation. You know, there's some folks, I know some folks, excuse me, have lost all of the toes due to certain health issues, but they still have that foot to stand on. And that foot is the foundation that holds them up. Your faith is the foundation. If it's strong enough, it will hold you up. It will support you in and through all things because your faith is grounded and rooted in God. And where's God? Jesus said the kingdom is within you. This is the teaching of Master Jesus. And all the great enlightened ones that came before him and after him said that the goodness of God, the consciousness and the spirit of God is within you. And when you start to look outside of yourselves, you're missing the mark. And the foundation is weak. You have nothing to stand on, nothing to hold you up. It is also said, and we must understand this deeply, faith without works is dead. Faith without works is dead. And the first thing you might say, well, I have a job that I go to every Monday morning, Monday through Friday, from 8 to 4, 9 to 5, or whatever it is. But that's not the type of work that Scripture is speaking about. The works is doing the will of God. The works is living in accordance to the will of God. Now you might ask yourself, what does those works entail? 9 to 5, 48, or whatever it is? No. And yet you can do the works within your physical and worldly responsibility. But doing the works is bringing forth that consciousness and that spirit of God within you, directing and showering the outer world to every man, woman, and child where it is needed. Blessings, healing, praying, and doing all that you can to uplift the consciousness of humanity is doing the work. You know, sometimes folks close their eyes to the things that are going on in the world. They don't want to hear about the negativity. They don't want to hear about all of the crime. They don't want to hear about the people that are starving, the homeless. All of these things, people turn their face in a different direction. But when you do this, you're not doing the work. For we, as spiritual beings, we have come to uplift our brothers and sisters. You know, when we get into a trouble spot or a trouble condition, the first thing that we do is we call on God. Help us, lift us up, provide for us, get us out of these conditions or situations. Well, why can't you work and do the same for your brothers and sisters? Why can't you, in your prayers and in your meditation, sending forth the light and the energies to lift them up, to heal them and to bless them? You know, spiritual beings, we can't be selfish. We can't want it all for ourselves and none for our brothers and sisters. That's not the way it works. And we should not go through life criticizing and condemning others. It's not a help, it's a hindrance to their spiritual growth and unfolding. And as you've heard me say so many times, the only thing that makes us different, in a sense, is our physical bodies. Male and female, many different colors or nationalities. But when you remove all of that, when you strip all of the flesh, as some say, down to the bone, but we got to go a little deeper than the bone. When you strip it all away and there's nothing left but the spirit and the consciousness, we're all one. We're the same. Why would you criticize and condemn that which I am? There's only one I am, manifesting in and through many different shapes, sizes, and forms. It's all God. There's no separate or different God for me and for you and for that man or that woman over there. It's all one. Manifesting and expressing as the many. So when you look out with your physical eyes upon the physical manifestation that is all around you, it's all God. But we must learn to look beyond the veil and know that it's God, expressing as that person, as this person. One consciousness, one spirit, one life, one light, and one power. It is the great I am in you, in me, in all forms of life. I am that I am, manifesting and expressing. It's all God. So, like so many of us, we think that we are different, we are better, and we are more. Some think that we are less. But when you strip away all of this material and physical form, there is but one. I am. You know, I like to, in my meditation, my prayers, in my thinking, I'm always affirming I am. And always affirming I am also saying from to the very depths of my being, as Jesus said, the Father and I are one. There's no separation. Only in physical form, when the ego has come into play and we think that we are more than they, do we lose sight of the truth of that which we are. The moment we wake up, and I don't mean from our nightly sleep, the moment we wake up in consciousness and realize that we're all one and that all manifestation is an expression of God, you can't escape that. You might turn away from it, but it's still there. Because you don't accept it, it does not change anything. It only affects you more to the degree that you have not recognized the very truth of that which you are. Now comes the storms of life. Now comes the earthquakes. Now comes the floods, the tidal waves, everything coming at you to knock you down and to roll over you. And we call out for help. And to whom are we calling? The very source that we have turned away from, the very source that we have not accepted as the truth of our being, the very source that maintains and sustains us and provides for our every need. We've turned away. We've been lured by the things of the world, the temptations. You see, the I am God within you is not going to tempt you. It's going to give you what you need. It's going to give you what you ask for. But oh, the temptations of the world falsely lead us down the dark alleyways of life into the pit holes where there's utter darkness. We as angels of light, we must stay in the light. We must live, move, and have our being in the light and not seek the darkness, Of course, the darkness have no power when you are the light, when you're filled with light, when you're radiating light. But you know, sometimes folks get so caught up in the temptations of the world that they turn away from the light that is within them. And when you have turned away from the light that is within, you stumble and fall in the darkness that's all around you. The darkness that you have created because you've turned away from the light. You know, it's like being in your home at night, you got the lights on. Then sometimes you say, well, I better turn this light off because that electricity bill is going to build up. So I'm going to turn this light off so I can save some money. And you turn off all the lights, and then for some reason you have to walk around in a certain part of the house, not having the light to see. Walk into things. Sometimes you stumble and fall. You kind of feel your way through like you're a blind person. And it's the truth. Because when you're walking in darkness, you're truly blind. You can't see the truth. So we stumble and fall. We walk into things that are not good for us, things that will cause us to fall and hurt ourselves and hinder us. Keep your light on. Not the light in your home, but the light in your consciousness, the light that permeates every fiber of your being. Turn not away from the light and seek not the darkness of the world. Let your light illuminate and dispel the darkness. Not only the darkness and the shadows that may be within you, but that darkness and shadows that permeates the world and the consciousness of every man, woman, and child. This is the work that we have come to do. Don't just say, well, I'm going to leave it all to God. Well, when you say that you're going to leave it all to God, you are identifying or trying to identify with something outside of yourself. So if you truly want to leave it all to God, then you must know that you must work from within you. Because that's where God is. And if you're going to leave it all to God, then you got to do the work. Strengthening the faith that is within you. You know, for those of us and all of us that are living in homes, you know that the house that you're living in is what? It's built on solid ground. And to some degree, it's able to maintain the storms. Now, I know we've seen on the news with floods and things have come and destroyed a lot of property, washed away a lot of homes, cars, businesses, trees, and everything. But just where you are right now, your homes are built on a solid foundation. Let your faith be built on a foundation, a solid foundation as stronger than the homes on which you are living right now. Solid rock. And that rock is your consciousness. You see, it's your faith built on the consciousness within. If your faith is built on the consciousness, the oneness of God, the I am, that is within your physical bodies, you can withstand anything that come at you. Nothing can move you. And let me just add this little tidbit in there, because I know from experience. When your faith is built on solid ground, the consciousness that is within you can move anything that's in your way. Because the consciousness within you is the Spirit of God. You got to learn how to use that power. You've got to learn how to call it forth in your life. And you know, we spend a great deal of time searching out here, searching around here. We spend a great deal of time listening to this and listening to that. We spend a great deal of time just wasting time because we don't have the time, or we don't take the time to be still and go within. We ripping and running here and there and everywhere, chasing this and that. And all that it says is be still and know that I am. Very simple, but so profound. Whatever it is that you're seeking, it's right there within you. Whatever it is that you're seeking out here, it's right there within you. The source that is responsible to bring into manifestation all that you're seeking out in the world. And you have to remember that it is the source that created the world. So if you're seeking to manifest in it, something in your life, you want to go directly to the source. You want to go directly to the source. And the source is right there within you, has always been. But I know some folks have an issue now. They can't say that. Some folks just can't look in the mirror and say, I am God manifesting in and through this physical body. Because that old worldly mind, that old ego will jump right in there and say, you got to be fooling yourself. Who do you think you are that you can stand in front of this mirror and say that I am God? Well, who are you? Don't tell me. Ask yourself, who am I? And listen. Take the time to be still and listen. And when you hear that still small voice within you saying, I am that I am, you don't need to know anything else. You don't need to know anything else. Because when you have heard that still small voice speaking in you saying, I am that I am, then you will know all that there is to know. And you have the power to do. And there is nothing in all of the world for you to fear, to be afraid of, to have doubt, to worry, to be concerned, because I am have spoken to you, all powerful, all knowing, everywhere present. You are one with the allness. See, it's like, and I'm just going to say this because, I know some folks, they're looking for some money. Everybody wants to be rich. Yeah, it'd be nice to have $1 million. But what good is $1 million if you don't have the consciousness to handle? But you can have $1 million and still be poor. I would rather have the consciousness that not only can manifest $1 million, but can manifest millions upon millions upon millions upon millions. But then I would like to have peace of mind. I would like to have some happiness. I would like to have some joy. I would like to have perfect health. See, a whole lot of them things I just mentioned, $1 million cannot buy. I want all that good stuff that money can't. And you see, when I have all that good stuff that money can't buy, I am beyond wealth. I am beyond wealth. I am in heaven. So when you allow your faith to be built upon solid rock, you don't have anything to worry about because your faith, when it's built upon a solid rock, will always see you through. Whatever might come. What they say, hell or high water, your faith will see you through. I'm a living witness. And that's one thing I like about me and how God has blessed me because I can speak from experience. And there's nothing no better, nothing no greater in all the world than experience. Because when you've had the experience, you know. And when you've come through the challenging times, you know. I've said many times, when you hear people talk about, or when you look on your TV, and especially what's going on in Gaza, hundreds of thousands of people starving, no food. You might just say, oh, they're just hungry. But if you've never been hungry, you don't know the pain and the suffering. You don't know what they are going through within themselves if you've never been hungry. I've been hungry. I know what it's like to not have food to put in your mouth. I know what it's like to have to go to bed at night and cry yourself to sleep because of hunger. And many times not being able to sleep because of the hunger pains. If you've never been hungry, you don't know the experience. And these folks are hungry. The children are hungry because of the ignorance of man has used this as a weapon against them. Your brothers and sisters, my brothers and sisters, are being used and mistreated by the ignorance of man. But we, as angels of light, we have come not to judge or to condemn, but to bless, to heal, and to uplift the consciousness of those that are causing so much darkness and pain and suffering upon this physical plane of existence. You see, it's not God. It is the lack and the ignorance of that which they are that is causing so much pain, so much suffering, and so much hunger. Let your faith be built upon the rock. And as I've said, do the work. Because faith without work is dead. You have nothing to live on. You have nothing to stand on. Namaste.